Hi there and welcome to Fluffy Jellyfish. Today's video is long overdue. I'm finally doing a rat cage tour. Ta-da! So behind me you can see the rat cage, obviously, and today I'm going to be taking you through everything that's in our rat cage and showing you how we set it up and how we put everything in it, put everything together, got our base made, and everything, just everything to do with the rat cage. You're going to see it today and I'm super excited. So without any further ado, let's get going! Look what's just arrived. I don't know how we're going to get this massive box up the stairs, but we'll hopefully manage. So as you can see, we did manage to get it up the stairs, and here it is, and I'm going to be setting it up just now. So today I'm up in the pet room, as you can see behind me, and I think all of our stuff is pretty much up here now, all of the pet things. There might be a few random bits and boxes downstairs, but that's pretty much everything here. So today I'm going to be setting it up and I'm going to stick this on time-lapse and film loads of clips of it so you can see exactly what I'm doing with the pet room. So I hope you enjoy this little adventure with me. Hey, voiceover Chloe here just now, just popping by to give you a little explanation of the timeline of some of these vlog clips so it makes a little bit more sense. So just now you can see me setting up the cage and setting up a bit of the pet room. And these were filmed around the time that we first moved into our house, so this is like me completely setting up the whole room and sorting out all of our boxes of pet stuff and obviously setting up the cage. And this was just as the young boys were being introed to the older boys, so you see them in the smaller cage over to the side, and then I put them into this bigger cage, and it's only half set up for them at this point because we were still doing the intros. So we didn't get to fully set up the cage the first time when I just built it. It was just half set up, just the lower half that we set up this first time. And then shortly after that, I'd set up the cage for the first time fully. And then we realised that Tiamat was suffering from hormonal aggression, so we had to deal with that and we had him neutered. And then it was basically back to the start again, so we had to do our intros all over again. So this cage tour has been a long time coming because we've had like bits and pieces in between that's meant that I've not really been able to set the cage up fully and not been able to film it. But in between those times we had the acrylic base arrive and we had our painting of the shelves and we ordered some new things. So bits and pieces happened in between the times and there's loads of vlog clips of that as well, so you'll get to see that a little bit later on. But everything's returned to a bit of normalcy with the rats at the moment, so I managed to finally film this and put it together. So there is a cage tour at the end of this little set of vlogs, and if you don't want to watch the vlogs, that's fine. I'll leave the time on screen just now when we get to the cage tour, so you can skip ahead to that if you want. But for now, let's return to the vlog. You'll see me setting up this cage, popping in the boys, and we'll get some clips of us putting together the plastic base and painting our shelves and setting up the cage and random little vlog clips that I've taken throughout the time of having this cage and us setting it up and doing things to it. So I hope you enjoy that. Finally, it is done. It took me so long to get this together. But I did it and I'm really proud because I'm normally a bit rubbish at DIY, as you probably noticed in the time lapse. But yeah, it's done and I'm going to fill it with, well, not that much this time because they're still in the intro stage with the new boys, but it's going to be filled for them and I'll pop them in there just now and see what they make of it. So as you can see from the absolute state of this floor, this cage that we got for the rat babies is not quite suitable. So today, Stuart is going to be building a base for this cage. When we first ordered it, we assumed this part, the sort of metal bit that you can see, was like a base and we wouldn't need to worry about building our own base. But yeah, as you can see from the floor, that is not quite the case. There is a little tray in here and the tray doesn't actually fit the sides. So all the substrate like goes between these holes in the side. And it's just not great, is it? It's rubbish, because it means that our floor is really messy. So basically, Stuart's going to be building a base for the cage today, and we're going to do that, and we're going to set it all up properly. Because at the moment, you can see it's just the bottom of the cage that we have set up, and that was because of intros. We didn't want to introduce too much stuff all at once. But it's been a good few days now and they're getting on really well together, so we're gonna set up the whole thing. Look at them, they're getting excited. This package is in fact for you. Although it's probably less exciting than you think it is.
You never know, you might be what I've always wanted.
Well, it'll mean that we have deeper substrate, so that is something they want. Some quality unboxing content here. Would it not? Would it not be better to cut the side?
Maybe.
Why do you open things in the most or least convenient way? Oh. I thought we'd run out of electric.
How would Elvis's light
there was no... I really want to film a video of us setting up the whole cage from start to finish, but because of all the intros and the moving and everything that we've done recently, I've not had an opportunity. So after the intros are done, like fully done, I'm excited to do a proper video setting up the cage with all of the things. Oh, and we'll have our painted shells, they'll be finished by then as well.
It's very true.
Satisfying feeling content. I get to do the next one though, right?
You've done both of them so
But,
far, so
yeah,
no.
but it's so satisfying though.
I know it is. I'm doing the next two. You
No.
can do the
I
base.
can do the big one.
You get to do the base.
Enjoy how clear and shiny this plastic is, because this is the last time that it's going to look this good. As soon as the rats start scratching and weeing all over it.
Right, let's do...
Let's get the tape on the next. This is what the tape looks like on the first side. And we're going to do all the other ones. It's kind of hard to film and do, so you'll just have to see what it looks like when we're from an attractive angle for you by me.
All of my angles are sarcastically attractive.
Oh, I'm excited for
Is
this.
that end lined up? Okay.
Seems to be.
Somebody's trying to get hold of me.
It's bowing and, well, I guess it's just because, but it should, we should be able to straighten it out, yeah.
Yeah, once you get the ends right.
Do you need a hand? Wait a minute.
No, it should be fine.
So much wasted plastic wrap. At least we can put it in our eco breaks. You
yeah.
sure you don't want me to hold one end of the tape?
No, it'll be fine.
Yay! The final piece of tape is on. Now all we have to do is figure out how to get it into the cage. We did it! It's in. Ta-da! Now we just need to fill it and sort the cage out. So today we are painting the rat shells. We've had these wooden shells for a really long time, but they've been chewed up a lot, and I wanted to do something to protect the wood a little bit better because they can be a bit of a pain to clean. So we decided to paint them with these like poster paints for children, so they're non-toxic, which means that if the rats do decide to chew them afterwards, they won't get sick or anything like that. So yeah, we picked up these colourful poster paints and decided to have a little craft session and paint them together. And then when we were finished, I coated them all in Plasticoat, which is a rat-safe varnish. It will protect the wood and it stops the wood from soaking up urine, and it's just a really good way to protect the wood in your rat's cage. So I'd highly recommend doing that on any wooden pieces that you've got in your cage. And all these wonderful colours are going to make it so nice for us to look into the rat cage and see all the bright colours, so I'm really excited for that. So this is our rat cage, ta-da! Finally filming this cage tour, so excited to do so. Oh, I almost forgot to grab my little dish of food. So I'm gonna go through each layer step by step and show you everything in our cage. And I've prepped a little dish of food, which is why you can see all the young boys being so excited. They've heard me prepping the food and I'm gonna scatter that for them just now. So let's get all the doors open first. That's the most exciting bit, eh? Hello. Don't worry, I'll let you get back in first. I'll open up the second door. All the old boys are still in bed, as you can see. And we'll open up these two top doors as well. There's one. I quite like these, say that as I struggled to get it open. I quite like the door mechanism, but it can be a bit sticky sometimes, which isn't ideal. But I love having these massive 4 front opening doors. They make everything so much easier. As you can see, we've got access to like the full cage using these, which is just perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna scatter some food for them first. And I'm just gonna scatter it in the substrate at the bottom. Would you like first pick? Oh yes, thank you. Oh, watch your little head. Oh well, that wasn't a very good scatter. I dumped it like all in one go. Let's mix it around a little bit because that was pathetic, wasn't it? Hey! You can come out if you want, but there's food in the cage, which is more exciting. And maybe the old boys will wake up at some point, but they're very sleepy during the day now, so we'll not disturb them too much. And we'll go from the top to the bottom. So I really wanted to film this with new fresh hammocks that I've ordered, but unfortunately they've not arrived yet, so you'll just have to put up with our tatty old hammocks. So up here we have as many hammocks as we can fit in, and I put them on a rotation, so we'll have different ones each time up here. And we've got this lovely tube in the middle, which is a new addition, and it actually came with our cage. I managed to save up enough points on Zoo Plus to get this for free, and I love it, and the boys love it so much. But it's really great to put it between 2 hammocks because they use it as their little sort of thoroughfare between and really seem to enjoy that. And then we've got these Pets at Home rainbow ropes, which I like the look of, but they were quite expensive. They were, I think, about £12, and they have not lasted. We used to have 4. 2 of them have disintegrated. These ones are still holding out, but you can see they're quite like tatty, where they've been washed over time and like the bits of strands come off, and yeah, they look cool, but yeah, they've not lasted very well, so I wouldn't really recommend them. The ropes that I would recommend, however, are these dog ropes from B&M Bargains. They're like £4. We've got loads of them, as you can see. I think there's 6 in there in total, and I'd like to get some more. And they're great value for money. They wash up really well, they're really strong, they're a perfect size for the rats, and they come in lots of cool colours as well. So yeah, if you're in the UK, B&M Bargains is your like best bet for big ropes. And then we have all of these shelves, which I've painted, and there's a bunch of these dotted throughout the cage. As you can see, we painted them all bright, wonderful colours with non-toxic paints and Plasticoat. And we bought them originally from Pets at Home, the little wooden shelves, and they're now really colourful and a cool addition to our cage. And the rats really love having these little platforms just to step up on, and they're good connectors in between, so I like having them. And they're all cool that they're painted in fancy colours. Along with that, we've got these little wooden perches. We got these from, oh, what's it called? Like Home Sense or something like that. I can't quite remember. It's like the pound shop, but like for home-based stuff. It was in the pet section there, and I think they're for parrots, birds. They were in the like bird pet section bit, but we find that they're great for the boys. Occasionally, like they'll be a bit wobbly, like the little nuts may untighten themselves, but we just tighten them up and they seem to work really, really well. So I'm glad that we've got a bunch of them in there for them as well. And they're good for them to chew on as well, as you can see. Next up, I think a staple of every single rat cage in the world are these IKEA tie rack holders. They're really great fall breakers, great for them to climb on. And for us, because our cage, we can't attach too much to the doors because obviously we need to be able to open them. Being able to attach two of these together and have them go from one end to the other is perfect because it means we've got a big connector. It's a big fall breaker and it's really great, and they wash up really well as well. And I think they're only like £3 or £4, so perfect value as well. And of course more hammocks as we go further down. Let's move down to the floor level. Oop. More hammocks. I really love these ones. These are from Cozy Beds and Burrows and they're great hammocks. Great shelves as well. They're good like connectors, and you can buy replacement fleecy bits for the wire. And yeah, I really love them. I'd highly recommend these. And down the bottom we've got our 2 litter trays, one on this side and one on that side that you can't quite see, but there's one there in the corner as well. They're mostly litter trained, sort of. Most of the time they do use their litter trays. Occasionally we'll have to spot clean the actual substrate, but on the whole they're pretty good at using their litter trays. And then we've got 2 hides down here as well. We've got the Sputnik, which used to be hanging up top, but now that the older boys are older and have less mobility, we've got the two hides down the bottom, although they seem to favour this pink little hide thing that we got from Pets at Home. And I have put this hammock a bit lower down so they can use that as well, and Spyro seems to hang out in there by himself a lot. He seems to quite like that one. And we use things like shredded paper, and there's some hay in there as well as additional enrichment to our substrate. They like to use that as bedding and it's good for them to forage in. And our main substrate that we use is the Obios, which is a hemp-based bedding, and I would highly recommend it. We went through a bunch of different beddings to get to this one, and it's just the best one that we've used. We used Bed Max initially, but found that our boys got really sneezy using that, so that wasn't ideal for us. We used a bedding that was like Carefresh, the sort of fluffy paper type bedding. It wasn't Carefresh, but it was another brand like that. I can't exactly remember the name. But again, we found that too dusty and it was making our boys really sneezy, so that wasn't ideal either. And then we finally found Obios, and it is just the best stuff. It's a little bit more pricey, but it's really worth it. I would highly recommend it. And with the substrate as well, the cage itself didn't have a tray that came with it, so we've added in our own plastic base, which is perfect. It means that we don't have to constantly clean, because as you can see, there's like a little gap there, and substrate came out of it in droves before we added this plastic proper base. And it means that we can give them a deeper layer as well. It is normally deeper than this, but we've unfortunately run out of Obios and haven't been able to get more, so there's some on its way, but it hasn't arrived yet. So normally it's up to about here. We tend to have it just below the line, so it's like a good deep layer for them to burrow in. Although I've not seen that much digging action, and I think I'd like to try and change that by getting them a dig box and putting that somewhere either in the cage or in the free roam area, because I think they'd really benefit from that. So stay tuned for a dig box video coming soon, hopefully. Oh, and Tiamat's come down to say hello. Hello! And then we've got our water bottles just below Tiamat. There are 3 down here, and then there's 1 higher up as well, which is on our door. We've got 4 in total, which is possibly too many, but I kind of feel like you can never have too many water bottles. And that yellow green one at the end is full of their vitamins and the calcium supplements, which is why it's an orange colour. And it's their favourite one, and they eat it the most. Or drink it the most, sorry. You're being a bit skittish this morning, you alright? Is it because I'm up here during the morning time? I don't normally come up here in the morning, it's Stuart that comes up in the morning. They'll be confused because it's not normally me up here in the morning, it's Stuart. I'm the afternoon caretaker and Stuart is the morning caretaker. And as I'm focused on this at the moment, this is one of their little chew toys that I love. It's got little bells on it and they seem to enjoy playing with it. I definitely see Tiamat chewing on the heart at the top and ringing the bells. And they've knocked down this chew toy thing that we got from Pets at Home as well, so they seem to be enjoying chewing that. And that was a bit of a rambly all over the place cage tour, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the things that we've got in our cage. I hope you enjoyed seeing the rats play about as I've shown you through it. I hope you enjoyed seeing the rat cage. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions about the cage or any questions about the rats, do drop them in the comments below. I'd love to answer all of your questions. And let me know if there's any videos that you'd like to see about the rats from me, and I'll be sure to add them to my scheduling list. And if you enjoyed this video today and want to see more of the rat boys, do hit that subscribe button because there's going to be so many more rat videos in the future. I've got so many ideas and I can't wait to make all of the videos. So yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along with our journey. It's going to be good fun. But for me and the rat boys, that's all from us for today, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye!